Hello, the most anticipated video review. Everyone's keep asking me to do a review on this watch, so here we go. I thought I'd come outside today as it's quite a nice day. So a lot of you have been having guesses what this watch is. Some people say it's a walkie-talkie, Dick Tracy, or what's the other one people have been saying, Night Rider. So this is a Casio TM100, and it first came out in 1987, and it was sort of Casio, Timex and Seiko were all competing with each other to who can come out with the most innovative watch at the time, as in the mid-80s a lot of a lot of digital watches were coming out with different features. And Casio came out with this one, but only brought it out in Japan in very small quantities. So that's why it's such a rare watch, because they only made a tiny run for a few months, and they were only sold in Japan. But now we've got one over here in the UK. So look, I'll show you what it does. So it's okay condition. I mean, don't forget it's very old, and it was a very cheap watch at the time when it came out. So here is your time, and I'll tell you what the watch does in a minute. And it's got its basic features. So you press that, it's a date, and we got this. Oh, is it here? Oh, so here, you see this here, what I'm doing now, pressing the button, and you see the little cursors that's coming up. Well, if you look at a lot of reviews online, they think that's the signal for the radio watch, but it's not. That's actually a timer. So if you put here 1, let me zoom in, that's a 1 minute timer. Then you got a 3-minute timer, 5-minute timer, 10 minutes, so on. And you press, when you finish, you press this button here, and or is it this one here? I can't remember now. And it just count down the timers as what you want. That is the timer on itself. What else we got? So here is the alarm mode, just a basic alarm. Here is a stopwatch. And I think that's it for that. Now, here's the bit that's interesting. Now, what this watch actually is not a walkie-talkie, and it's not even a radio. It's a radio voice transmitter. So what you do is, you go on an analog radio and you set the megahertz on an FM frequency to 88, for example, and you find a frequency where there's no station playing, so it's just silent. And what you do is, you flick this little switch up here, there, and you turn this little knob here round. Oop, got the wrong thing going on there. Hold on. Oop. Oh my god. So you flick the switch on there, and you keep turning this little knob here until you start hearing a little buzzing noise, and that means this now is connected to the radio frequency. That's very important. Now, no sound will come out of here. It will start coming out the radio. So anything you say in here, or if you got headphones and you put it against here from a walkie-talkie, not walkie-talkie, a Walkman, it will start transmitting whatever the voice is from here to the radio. And that's all it is. And it can do, I think, up to 60 meters distance. So if you were upstairs and you wanted to communicate or put a voice message to your mother downstairs on the radio, you can just flick the switch, as long as it's tuned in together, and say, "Mum, can I have a glass of milk," for example, and she will hear it on the radio. And that's basically it. So it's not the conspiracy theory that everyone thinks it's a walkie-talkie and you need 2 of them, or people think it's actually a radio. It's not at all. You haven't even got a volume on here. Yeah, and that's it. It's obviously, I mean, it's a novelty watch. That's all it is. It's nothing special, but it's incredibly rare. And what you're going to find as well is any collector that has this particular watch will not sell it, because they know how rare it is, and then probably won't get one again for, I don't know, I will say, I mean, the minimum I've seen these sell for, and that's not working, there's issues with it, is £1,500, which is $2,000. And I've seen these a few years ago, like in really good condition. This one's got a few marks here and here, but in really good condition, exchange hands between £3,000 and £4,000, which is roughly, what's that, $4,500, maybe $5,000. I mean, it's an excessive amount of money. But what you got to look at is, if you're a Casio collector and you just want this in your collection, and you've got deep pockets, they will pay it, because people are paying it. And it's a great watch. I mean, look at that, beautiful. It's so unique. The closest to a competitor I've seen these, which is a lot better watch, is the Seiko TV watch. Now, they're very expensive, but you try and get one in its box with the headphones and working, because in the UK we don't have that transmission anymore where you can watch analog TV. Like Casio used to make the little small Casio portable TVs, small little things. I mean, I like to have some of them, but there's no point, because you can't get signal in the UK. I don't know about anywhere else, but everything in the UK has gone digital. That's why I haven't got a radio to try it. I was going to go to a thing called a boot sale in the UK, where they just sell second-hand stuff, just to get an analog radio, just to try this feature out. But there was none for sale. I couldn't really find any. So that's why I'm not able to try it, because I don't have that particular radio. But yeah, there it is. It's quite a good size watch. I don't think this is the original strap. Well, I know it's not the original strap, but it's nice. Quite like it. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad it's in my collection. I would never sell it. I say never. I probably won't sell it. I mean, money end of the day in the bank is just numbers. This would give me more pleasure than the money. It's a good talking point as well, if you ever speak to or have Casio friends, and you know, they will show you their watches, and you can show, I mean, the rarity. Actually, I say rarity, these are pretty rare, but I do know of a guy about 20 miles from me who's actually got one of these, and he won't sell it though. But yeah, and by the way, so there's a little button here, that's to turn the radio on, and when you turn that on, some have a yellow cursor like this one, some have a red one. God knows why. Put a little button down and that deactivates it. If you don't ever use the radio though, if you've got one of these and you don't ever use the radio, because you're not going to really use it, take the battery out, because there's no point having it in there. You're just causing problems with the watch. There is a few reviews of this watch online, and there is a guy that's taken the back off to change the battery, and his circuitry is a little bit different to mine. His part's missing, but I don't think he knows that, because it wasn't in there when he first got it. When I took mine apart to change the battery, there's little plastic casings it fits into inside, and that's what's good about this watch. It's all original, and I actually bought this watch from the original owner who had it as a child. So it's only a one owner watch. It wasn't passed on to a collector. And being from one owner and as a child, and you still got the aerial intact, remarkable. Because even though it's rare now, in the early 80s and maybe mid 90s, no one really cared about this watch, because it was such a novelty watch, and I should imagine it was pretty cheap. I don't know if you've seen the previous video I've done about the manual that I have. but there's a manual online, not online, in my book with this watch, and yeah, it's a great watch. Looks marvellous in my collection, and I don't think I'll ever sell it. Well, no, I won't. I would only sell if I found another one. If I found one in better condition and at the correct price, I would sell this one then, because there's no point in me keeping two of the same watch. But yeah, there we are. There's 4 little buttons on the side here. You've got the mode button. Oh, there's modes up here, I think. This one's start, stop, and your little control knob. So yeah, thanks for watching. You take care.